We're now delighted to be joined over the telephone by His Excellency Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, the former Assistant Foreign Minister. A very good afternoon to you, Mr. Ambassador.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Fine, thank you, sir, and thank you for joining us, Mr. Ambassador. Now, of course, in coordination with a great number of private sector organizations, the African Union Commission organized an honoring ceremony in which the President, Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, was honored and awarded for his role in launching the Continental Free Trade Zone during his leadership of the AU. Could you tell us a bit about the importance of this Free Trade Zone agreement?
As a matter of fact, we have a story of success when Egypt joined the common market of East and West and South Africa.
Yes, COMESA.
We call it COMESA.
Yes.
And our export to this area of Africa was tripled in the last few years. Mm-hmm. So we have another group in the west of Africa. We have a third group in the middle of Africa.
Yes.
And it was quite wise enough to combine the three free trade areas. It is areas, not zones. Free trade area, FTA, in one big free trade area, which will cover the whole, more than 50 countries of Africa. And I think this is another story of success because up till now, more than 35 countries recognize the agreement and ratified. So it is in action, as a matter of fact. Now you can go to South Africa, to Nigeria, to Kenya, the East. Everywhere in Africa now is open for our trade, for our export, and this is a sort of really a success for all of us. We shall exchange all the commodities we need in the continent, and this will attract more and more foreign direct investment, because now we are talking about a huge free trade area of 1,200 million inhabitants. This is the largest free trade area as a number of citizens. This will be a source of attraction. This will help the Egyptian initiative to call on the rich countries to come and invest in Africa with the Egyptian experience help. And this is one good step in our efforts in order to make the African Union much enjoying more and more commodities and services, and even more movement of the people.
Absolutely. Mr. Ambassador, let me ask you, how does integration or economic integration between different African countries, how do you think this will serve the economies of each individual country?
Take one sector, which is agriculture. In Africa, countries like Sudan, like Cameroon, like Nigeria, it's not totally enjoying full agriculture sector. I was ambassador in Cameroon, and I realized that they have huge areas which is not cultivated. So the trick is that we can go there, grow some cereals like wheat, like many agricultural commodities which we need, and then we enjoy together the results with the Egyptian experience, with the Egyptian finance also. And the good thing that we established the Egyptian Fund for Cooperation and Partnership in Africa, which will help all over this aim. Problem that we need more and more finance because the challenge is huge. And thank God that China, Europe, and Japan agreed to come to participate and join us in those efforts in order to have a much more bigger African market to attract all these who are in need to trade, in need to invest.
Absolutely. One final question, if I may, Mr. Ambassador. Could you tell us a bit about the volume of Egyptian investments in different African countries? Which African countries enjoy the higher volume of investment and which are seeking more opportunities for investment with Egypt?
I am proud of our businessman community in Egypt because really we had many meetings in the Foreign Office where we encouraged them to go and invest in Africa. We have main investors in Uganda, we have investors in Ethiopia, in
Yes.
South Sudan, and recently our president visited Cuba. So the Egyptian investment in Africa is one of our aims, because it strengthens our goals to realize our goals of one African united continent. This is very good, and I think we have to encourage more and more of our businessmen to go to Africa, which is not an easy task, by the way. It's not as revenue as where if you go to the Arab world or to Europe, for instance.
Yes.
But it is, after all, something which will help our economy and the African economies.
Absolutely. Your Excellency, Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister, thank you so much, sir, for your insight and for joining us on today's edition of Cairo Local Time. And moving forward with more news, the Minister of Planning and Economic Development, Hala Said, said the second batch of the second phase of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's grant for irregular workers will be disbursed as of January the 17th. She said the date was set during the Cabinet's meeting on Thursday under the chairmanship of the Prime Minister, Dr. Mustafa Madbouli. The grant is meant to support casual workers